All right, YouTube, I'm hungry. This is my bullseye. And for the next few videos I produce, we're going to answer some questions that I've been seeing on my pages, I've been seeing on my YouTube, I've been seeing on Recteq's website, Facebook page, all these different sources, right? We're going to answer it about the bullseye because I really like this bullseye. And then today we're going to illustrate the number one question I see. It's about power, all right? And we're going to use a couple tools. The first tool we're going to use is this kilowatt meter, all right? Kilowatt meter. And then we're going to use the power inverter, all right? So let's go back in time, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the kilowatt meter, and then we're going to watch it work. We're going to see how this thing pulls from the power source, right? The wattage. Then we're going to actually go get a power inverter and see if we can't get this thing to work without regular old AC power, like traditional AC power, all right? So the first question, the one I see all the time, and I don't know why it's on the bullseye, but they always ask about the bullseye, is will that thing work with my generator, all right? So, I tried to look through the manual, and I tried to look through Recteq's website, and you know what? They don't list anything there. They say 110 volt GFCI outlet, right? That's all they list. So they don't list anything else. I looked at the back of this guy. There's a plate there that tells me who manufactured it, the serial numbers. It doesn't tell me anything about power, though. All right. So let's find this out. How are we going to find this out? Well, there's lots of ways. But the easiest way is this guy. Look at this guy. If you've ever tried to do anything solar at your house, you probably have a kilowatt meter. Guys, this is like somewhere between $20 and $40 on Amazon. I've had this guy 5-6 years now. I really don't know how much it costs, but this is what we're going to use. I know they still sell them. They might have different versions of them out there now. This one here, where it says the P3 on the top, that's the one I've always had. It always works. The way this works, we're going to plug in power on the back, and we're going to plug the device in the front. All right? So it's very easy. Here's my power cords. Now I'm going to plug this in. Immediately when I plug it in, it's going to come up. It's going to tell me some things. I don't know if you all can see that or not. I got a camera pointing at it. But the very first thing it tells me is its voltage. Amperage is 0. Watts is 0. It tells me the hertz is 60, right? And kilowatts, of course, is 0. I'm going to plug in the bullseye, right? The bullseye. Again, it's going to tell me the exact same thing, right? It tells me the volts. The amps are still, it says 0.01, so this thing takes 0.01 amps when it's turned off. The watts is 1.1. This thing takes 1.1 watts turned off, all right? And this is where this meter comes in handy. If you had solar, that 1.1 watts, over time it kind of adds up because you don't have a lot of wattage to begin with, right? And then the hertz and the kilowatts per hour, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this here, and I'm going to leave it on watts, right? And that camera should pick it up over there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my bullseye. And I have it set for right, so I'm going to turn this baby down. Because we're going to cook today on this. And I'm going to start it at 225. And right now, the wattage is 184. All right? 184, 188, 166. It's jumping a little bit. My amperage is 1.4 amps. But the wattage right now is about 140 to 170, we'll say, all right? We're going to give this some time, all right? That auger's going to kick up. We're down to 130 now. We're just going to give it some time. We're going to watch that. You all don't need to hear me talk in order to watch that, do you? So we'll give it a little bit. We're going to let it start to heat up. We see some jumps, and then we'll come back. All right, guys, so this guy here, it made it to 180 degrees. When it did, the igniter turned off, right? So now, if we look at our meter, we're like 24 watts. So that fan and that auger turning, we're pretty much between 24 and what, 28 watts sometimes, 38 watts. We're below 40 watts with this auger running and the fans without the igniter. So most definitely, if you unplug that igniter off the circuit board, because you want to run this off an inverter, maybe out the back of your minivan, son, this thing's it's gonna go ahead and work. All right, we're at 180 degrees. I got me some chicken. I'm gonna stick it on there as the temperature raises up to 225. Then I'm gonna come back once this thing sat in there for about, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes at 225. We're gonna crank it back up. I don't know, what do you say, 325, maybe even 400. And definitely all its joints are already dislocated. All right, we're just gonna stick her on there. Let me get this glove off. You know, we're gonna just go inside and let this thing do its business. All right, invisible garbage can. All right, guys, measuring power don't have to be hard in the backyard. All right, let's get this done. Let's get my chicken done. All right, when we crank back up this temperature, when we crank it up to around like 325, 400 or so, I haven't decided yet. We'll come back. We'll look at that power meter. But right now, we're hanging out at 36 watts, 32 watts, 24 watts. Guys, if you have a light bulb in your RV that's like the old-fashioned incandescent light bulb, you're pulling more power than my cooker. All right? What's up? What you doing? All right, we'll be back. All right, guys, this thing has been in there for a while at 225. It's actually reading right now 230 because I just had the lid open and I closed it, it jumped back up, all right? But the power here, it's basically between 25 watts, 24 watts, and like 40-something watts. We're going to say 50 watts, all right? What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to turn this guy up, all right? And we're going to start cooking at 400 degrees. I want to crispen up that chicken. I wanted to cook a little bit faster. You guys can't tell, but the rain's going to come in pretty soon. This video is not about cooking in the rain. All right, I'll give you a hint. You're going to see a video about me cooking in the rain. It's just not this one, and this machine can do it, all right, without a problem. But this chicken here needs to cook. My meter and stuff, it won't work in the rain, all right? Stay tuned. We already know what's happening here with this. Don't go nowhere, because we're going to hook up a power inverter next. All right, YouTube. Well, welcome to the front yard, son. All right. I went out. I bought the only power inverter that Home Depot has, and this is how we're going to set it up. All right. All right, guys. So this is my setup. I got my wife's car out because it's easier to get to the battery. All right. I went to Home Depot. This is the smallest power inverter they had, so this is what I went with. It's 1,000 watts. You know, on Recteq's website, I went back, I reviewed it last night. It says it'll work on a 600-watt generator, so it should work on a 1,000-watt power inverter. All right, if that works, that means I can have silent camping. All right, let's go back over here and see what it does. All right, YouTube, this is the moment of truth. Will it work? Let's see. Looky, looky. Will it work? I hear the fan. I see the little flashy light. You know, guys, I think it's going to work, son. It looks like everything's on and working. Guys, we just powered this grill up with a 1,000-watt power inverter. The car is off, which means if I had this battery in the backyard, if I was working off solar, if I was in my RV, as long as I had at least 600 watts of power, it should work. We'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.